Happy New Year, everyone. This is Faruk, and you're at Revpanda Live. We've just entered the year, and I know getting back to work after long holidays can be tough. In the first Revpanda Live session of the year, I promise we're going to have an easy chat while sharing some great insights to kick off the year right. Today's session is brought to you by Pinup Partners. Make sure you check out their affiliate program and connect with them at the upcoming ICE and IGB affiliate events in Barcelona. As I just said, it is the new year and it comes with a lot of uncertainties. There's a lot of noise in the market regarding the regulations, new markets, new technologies in the iGaming industry. To give you a helping hand and some food for thought, we start the new year with a session where we'll discuss gaming markets, predictions, upcoming trends, and how to get ready for 2025 as iGaming professionals. My guest today is very special, an experienced iGaming veteran with over 12 years in the industry. Please welcome Gabi, Chief Commercial Officer at Oddsgate. Gabi, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. Thanks for joining.
Happy New Year, everyone. Faruk, thank you very much for the invitation. Revenue Panda, the same. It's really a pleasure to be part of this show.
Fantastic, Gabi. I believe some of our viewers today may already know you from Oddsgate, but for those who just met you at our show today, can you please tell us about your iGaming journey and how did it all start for you?
Well, it's been a long journey. As you said, it's a bit over 12 years. I'll try to just keep it small. Basically, I moved to Malta, I think around 2012. I just wanted to start fresh in a new place. And I think since the beginning of my days in Malta, I kept on hearing about the gaming industry. That is a very stable environment. It's a fast-growing industry, which really made me curious because I was looking for something. I was looking for a passion, a job that I would love to do. Eventually, I think I managed to get the opportunity for an interview with a gaming company. Back then there were not that many, so I was quite lucky to get the interview. Unfortunately for me, the interview, at least the first part, didn't went that well because obviously all the questions were gaming related operations, to which I had no experience. But to my luck, at the end of the interview, I was just asked one simple question: if I want to learn. Obviously, which my reply was like very quick and very fast, yes. So I think that was really the beginning of the journey. I remember my first job was actually junior affiliate manager. I was just basically going on Google, finding all affiliate websites and just sending promotion emails with the websites that we had. And I think also from that point, my colleagues started to hate me, mainly because in my pursuit for knowledge and to learn as fast as possible, I would just keep on stressing them, just keep on asking as many questions as possible. And if I can recall a funny thing, probably the hardest thing to learn was the acronyms, because we do know that we love acronyms in the gaming industry.
Right.
So day by day, I was just getting more fascinated. It's so amazing. And yeah, from that point, the career started to advance, right? Jumping from affiliate manager to account manager, from account manager to sales. To which point, I think sales was the point that I really loved doing. I loved the interaction with people. I loved learning new business opportunities, knowing more about all the markets around the world. And if I could sum up this, was that the test of fire that I had as sales was attending ICE. We all know that conferences, if you're a first time in industry and attending a first time conference, they can be quite overwhelming, right? But ICE, which obviously can be an understatement, was really, really humongous, really huge. I had never seen something in my life like so many people, so many companies, so much information and technology. So I was really drawn into this world. And yeah, here we are after almost a decade and a bit.
Absolutely. And as far as I know, there are going to be around like 700 only exhibitors. So that's going to be a big one. And also, it's going to be the first event in Barcelona for ISO. I'm really waiting for it. But I want to come back to you again about your career and gaming journey. So it's been 12 years more or less for you, like over a decade. And you have seen all the highs and lows in the industry. So looking at the iGaming industry today, how it is different, when you look at it from the time you started.
Yeah, well, it's obvious. The anime gaming landscape changed a lot, right? Even if you look only at the past 10 years, right? The competition is bigger. 10, 12 years ago, there were only a handful of platforms, handful of providers, and just few operators. So the world was much, much more smaller. But I think obviously with the years passing, the industry became better, faster, more innovative, and more player oriented, right? Because the technology itself also evolved drastically. To name a few, AI, mobile gaming, live data technology, blockchain, payments, and of course security, right? Which all of these things advance and grow with the years passing.
Right, definitely. You're with Oddsgate, and it's an iGaming platform provider. You're offering both turnkey and white label solutions to iGaming operators. I was just doing a bit more research on top of what I already know about the company, and Oddsgate gained a good momentum lately. It is growing and expanding to different markets. Recently, I checked, Oddsgate is actually awarded as the second best workplace in Portugal, which is great for your team, of course. Can you tell us more about Oddsgate and what makes it different from the other platform providers out there?
Yeah, actually, there are two awards. So it is the best workplace in Portugal, and there's another one that we won, Great Place to Work, also in Portugal. Which I think only from this, it's actually a statement of the culture that was built in Outscape. So just a small history. So Ozzy started in the Brazilian market. We had an idea that we want to offer high quality platform and service to the Brazilian operators. We had a big commitment towards the market, which was very well received. Right, we became quickly probably one of the most dominant and most chosen platform in the region. Furthermore, we also became one of the first fully certified platforms under the new Brazilian regulation, which to whoever was undergoing this process knows that that's not an easy task. In regards to other markets, I mean, we're expanding, right? We're pushing globally. We already have clients live in Africa and other regulated jurisdictions. We have also obtained our Romanian license, and MGA is on the way. Besides the GLI certificates, which we have for globally and for Brazil, we also have 4 ISO certificates. They all revolve around security, cybersecurity, and privacy protection. You will see this is very common with, especially in Oddsgate, the accent put and the emphasis put on the security of our system. From a technology perspective, I mean, the system was built just basically to allow us and the clients to grow without facing any scalability issues or downtime. Actually, during 2024, we had, I believe, 100% platform uptime and 99.9% payments and providers uptime. So we don't like to go down, and we never go down. If we look on the operations side, our focus is making sure basically that our clients receive 100% of our resources, with an emphasis obviously on integration, as we actually commit to integrate any PSP our client wants between 10 to 14 days. And if I can just mention one thing, is that what operators actually are very pleased when they join us is that we actually have a specialized unit called managed services. Their whole purpose is basically to assist operators from the launch date onwards. So we don't just deliver a brand and just let them sort out and let them figure out what they can do and how they can promote themselves and grow. So this managed services team, their only goal and job is basically to assist the operators. So they will do paid SEO, they will do retention, they will do CRM. So anything that is needed to help the brand or the operators grow.
That's fantastic because usually what we see is like the providers, they just give the keys and then they just move aside. Of course, there's going to be support, but your range of services is really helpful, especially at the
Yeah.
beginning when operators, they don't really know much about how to really run that unless they are, seasoned experts in the market. There's another thing I was checking, and you also touch base on that, like super quick launch time. As far as I remember, it was just 30 days, but you're saying it could be even faster. I wonder, how does your team achieve this incredible speed without compromising on quality?
Yeah, we actually gave the 30 days is like let's say the longest it could take. It can start from a week, 2 weeks, or that usually is the time frame. I think it all begins and it all starts with the procedure that we have in place, mainly around the workflow, handover processes. The teams obviously we have highly skilled professionals, right? Each unit has its own set of guidelines, set of procedures, which makes everything very fast and streamlined. Um, Everybody knows that usually the biggest amount of time is spent on design, right? On front-end customizations, all these front-end features that the end user will see. So what we do, I think, a bit different, is that we don't just send the documents or the requirements to the client and wait for them to fill them up and trying to struggle to complete them, which obviously drag the process longer. We actually stay with them. We basically help them throughout the process. We go in calls, we go in meetings, and we fill up the file together with them. So we assure that they are not missing anything important. And quality is one of the key points that we pride ourselves with. So, and this might be a controversial take, but we'd rather take fewer clients if needed than overcommitting in onboarding more clients. So I want to make sure that because I pride ourselves with offering 100% availability of our resources to all our clients, regardless of their volumes, because everyone is treated equally with us. Because I know this can be, the operators might usually have this misconception or this conception that um, if they are a small operator, they will get less attention, or if they are a big operator, they can leverage more. But in our case, in Oddsgate at least, everyone is treated equally. So we make sure that everyone has 100% availability of our resources.
Yeah, I think that's a very good approach, like keeping the clients equal, because you never know who's going to be the next big one. So yeah, I appreciate that, and it is fair approach. Um, Gabi, we have a lot of viewers coming from the operator space, and I would like to ask you a question for them. What are the top factors operators should consider when evaluating platform providers?
Well, well, there are quite a few. So if I would be an operator looking for a platform, I would start first with regulatory compliance, right? So I need to see which market am I going, which territory. So the platform has to support multiple jurisdictions, has to have strong AML and KYC tools. I would look at scalability, right? The platform has to handle growth and adapt the business needs with module solutions. Usually, most platforms now are using the module solutions because obviously it makes all the integrations much more faster and much more smoother. Localizations, right? So depending on the regions that you're working, you need to have available as many languages as possible, currencies and payment options. If I'm an operator that or want to go in a territory where retail is common, then I will need that platform to have omni-channel capabilities, right? So because you have to have a seamless online, mobile, and retail experience. Player engagement, right? You need to have CRM tools, gamification, and even AI-driven personalization. If you're looking on the product side, the offer of the platform has to be as much as diverse as possible, right? You have to have all the verticals: sportsbook, casino, esports, live casino, etc. Um, One other aspect that I think is very, very important that people usually probably forget to think about it that much is technical support, right? You need to make sure that the platform is reliable 24/7 because anything that might happen either during hours or off hours of the normal territory where you are, your only help will come from the platform, right? So any issues that you might have, either related front end, back end, providers, PSPs, etc., all comes from the help from the platform. So you need to make sure that they're available 24/7. And last but not least, security, right? The platform
Yeah.
has to have a good security. It's very one of the most sensitive and important aspects of an operation.
Yeah, I know the security part is quite important, and you even suggest your clients that it is always good to keep the data in the system that you own, so it is your data, it's not really shared outside, and so on. So, as far as I remember, it is the integrity part of your values, so you just
Yeah.
put a lot of emphasis on it.
We
Gabi,
actually
let's yeah.
went even longer ways that we went and took those ISO certificates, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. These are like the most important parts, especially when I look at some providers. I check those certifications because then I say, okay, industry standards are in place, so I can make the call. So yeah, that makes sense. Gabi, I would like to turn the wheel a little bit more on this year. And as you know, the iGaming industry is having significant shifts as the major drivers are like technology, emerging markets, and tightening regulations. What trends do you think will dominate the iGaming space in 2025? Can you give us some brief information on your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot, but probably to name a few. Obviously, emerging market expansions, where I think we'll see a lot of growth in Latin America, Africa, and even Asia Pacific. AI personalization and AI, of course, probably we're going to see more AI powered tools, tailored for a better player experiences, predictive analytics, and dynamic promotions. Esports, micro betting, the rising popularity of esports in the past few years was huge. And with the micro betting, punters love real time in play on sports events. They like to bet what's going to happen the next 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, corner, offside, etc. Crypto and blockchain adoptions, right? So I believe we're going to see a wider use of cryptocurrencies, for gaming, and obviously blockchain for security and transparent operations. And I think this one is a bit left aside usually, but I think AR and VR, especially on the interactive live dealer part, will become a bit more mainstream.
Right. And you just count a lot of these trends, and definitely they will play important roles. But I was just wondering, how do you think operators can adapt to these changes to stay competitive? Because it will take lots of time for learning curve, integrating those new tools and systems and learning about, what's happening and their impact and so on. What do you recommend to operators to adapt themselves?
I think if we're looking on the emerging markets, they should invest heavily in that. So they should build localized brands, tailored content, payment options, promotions, like regions like we're talking about Brazil, Africa, LATAM in general, right? So if you have already a brand and you want to expand to these markets, you need to make sure that you understand the market you're going and invest properly in it. If you're talking about the I think it's the operators have to start and learn to use the AI mainly for personalization, predictive insights, and fraud detection, which is also very very important.
Yeah.
If the operators is not that experienced with blockchain, they should try to explore blockchain for transparent operations, crypto payments, and also global accessibility. Right, one of the key features of using crypto is basically that it's globally wide available. And of course, prioritize mobile first design. I believe that companies or brands should always focus their design on mobile first, right? And also have
Yeah.
mobile functions, mobile tools, because mobile has taken the globe, right? So most of the gambling is being done using mobile, and
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
yeah, and I think also in regards to the and also their offering, right? So they have to expand a lot in the training verticals, which are esports, micro betting, esports, and virtual sports, of course.
Definitely about the mobile gaming, by the way, especially in certain regions, it is almost the only way to go sometimes when you look at it.
Correct.
Because, like, we are here in Europe, for instance, like everybody has, a couple of devices so they can look at it in different times of the day. But if you go to like Asia or maybe Latam, it is more like a mobile oriented market. So I love what you say about it. And you touched on based on the emerging markets, which in my opinion is going to be big in 2025. Um, Obviously, there are some challenges, right? So when operators they decide to enter those new markets, let's talk about them a little bit. What do you recommend to the operators to overcome those challenges in the new emerging markets that they are entering?
No, I think the main one is this: understand the market you're working on, understand what is popular. If it's possible, partner with a local partner. They would be probably the best to understand the player basis more than probably you would if you would be outside of that specific market. I think it's all about understanding the market, right? Once you understand the market, you know what is popular there, what games, what is it sports betting, is it casino? If it's casino, which type of games they prefer, which type of providers they prefer. So once you understand those, then you can adapt, right? You can make custom promotions, you can make tournaments. I believe this would be the way to go.
Absolutely. And also, you were talking about payments. So, like bringing people to those payment methods that they actually trust, they would like to, feel safe and so on. So, that is one of the aspects, in my opinion, that providers should suggest to the operators because they may not know those markets as well as providers know. So, that could be a good step on your
Correct.
end. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, yeah, you're right. Because sometimes maybe there's an operator working in a specific market. Maybe the platform is not operating there, or it's operating, but they're using a different set of payments, right? But a new operator might suggest, I want to use this specific payment because has bigger popularity in this specific region, right? So you as a platform has to have to adapt and integrate those in order to facilitate and help the operator reach those players.
Right. You were also mentioning the technology part earlier. So, for instance, AI is one of the big things, but I still believe that AI, especially in the marketing part, is not really quite ready to have a full operational, let's say, partner candidate for iGaming operators. And still, I believe it is better to have like human written content or human translated content or localization by humans in those markets that you can speak the language of your target audience in the market. So definitely there are a lot of things to consider. I want to move on with the markets, and I know Oddsgate is big in Brazil. I remember you guys were at SPC Summit in Rio, Sigma Sao Paulo, and so on. So like a lot of presence in the market. How do you view Brazil's potential in 2025?
Brazil is huge. Brazil, I think, Brazil will grow. As we entered in the new Brazilian market, a regulated one, right? I believe the stability deriving from this will only become fuel for the growth of the market. I think we should not forget that Brazil has a population of 200 million people and also has the largest economy in Latin America. So the potential is still very, very big.
Definitely. And as you know, there are some new regulation changes happening. And I was wondering, what advice would you give to operators looking to establish themselves in Brazilian market, thinking about those new regulations coming into play?
Yeah, it's a tough question, but I will stick to three. So I think, yeah, I will mention 3 points that, in my view, that probably would be mandatory. One of the key factors would be that now it's all about being technically compliant, right? So having a platform that understands the landscape, right? Mainly with government APIs, KYC APIs, third-party APIs, FaceTime APIs. The market loves APIs, by the way. And then, of course, understanding the law, right? If you have a platform or partner that really understands the local law, it can help you as an operator to design processes that are going to be as lean and as efficient as possible. Second, I would say, is marketing, right? So the market is still very far, as I mentioned above, is still very far from saturation point. We actually had a projection that what we did internally, that only about 30 to 40% of active players have actually reached a local bookmaker. So there's still a huge potential universe of around 30 to 40 million people who never gambled before, right? So this is an amazing opportunity for both live operators, also future ones that they want to tap into the market. And probably third, I was just saying that having a good content partner, right? You need to, as I mentioned even before on the operator side, we need to understand the market, right? Brazilian specifically is a casino-driven market. It's very important to understand the casino trends, right? What providers should you promote? Who are the new providers that you should promote? Because you never know you're going to discover the next big thing, and players are just gonna love it.
I want to touch base on the marketing side because you just mentioned about it. Usually, the journey of new operators are coming with having a local affiliate partner, and if they have budget for this, they go with like influencers and so on. And they sometimes seem to forget what you at Osgate offer as a additional service at your platform, SEO, for instance, or having a fantastic website which has a good content to build that community, not only you know sending all these messages with the marketings and promotion, but like more about building that community.
And
Yeah, I was wondering your take on marketing, like especially for Brazilian market. Can you please tell us your own opinion, like what could be the prioritized, let's say, channels for you?
so, yes, obviously, marketing is super important. What we do, I'm just gonna speak for Oddsgate in this case. So, what we do with an operator, right? So, from the beginning of the launch, we're gonna see the idea that the operator wants to go with. So, we're gonna make promotions, we're gonna do campaigns, social media or through affiliate channels, to the proper marketing tools. Um, but I think one of the most important things is that in Brazil, or in general in every big market, usually after you have a certain period of operation, right? If you take 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and you look back at your database, right, you'll see probably that, I don't know, 30%, maybe 40% of your active players are not returning anymore, right? So you just lost them. They just deposited once and they left. So one of the strongest points on the managed services is the retention part, right? When the teams will go back, will take all these inactive players and try to reactivate them with amazing campaigns, bonuses, tournaments. Um, Casino will always grow, so we always try to create the promotions around casino, mainly about tournaments.
Right. So that's one thing, and I see a lot of offline advertising as well. So on the buses, or they just put big banners and so on in Brazil. So that's another thing that I witnessed over there. The market is very unique. Like something that we do here in Europe or somewhere else doesn't really apply in the Brazilian market. So I love what you say and your insights on that. Um, this is a bit more like, let's say, a question about your own view, because we talk about the technology and we see that iGaming industry is at the brink of another technological revolution, like you were mentioning about AI and machine learning use,
Yeah.
especially in predictions, understanding your players behavior and so on. There's also crypto that you mentioned earlier. This is being massively adapted in many markets now, and these are all kind of a component of any iGaming company's tech stack right now. I was wondering your opinion, like, are they really resonate with player experience, or do you think all these tech trends are some kind of hype?
Yeah, we were mentioning as well before as well. Um, I think yes, overall AI is still obviously far away to be perfect, right? So people still like to use the old ways of engaging with players, right? But I don't think it's necessarily just a hype, right? I believe that especially AI-driven personalization, right, that can offer players, that can do player offering, tailored recommendation, customized promotions, that can offer really a seamless engagement. Will only increase, and I think ultimately it will increase satisfaction and of course retention. As I said, yes, it's still probably far ahead, having this seamless process, and like all punters probably would prefer to have the old style of chat or old style of promotion or receiving bonuses. But I think in time this will only help and grow the industry. And for crypto, I mean, crypto has evolved so much in the past years, and obviously I believe that the adoption will only grow.
I also hope so. I have a lot of hopes for crypto growth and the bull market, because we notice when there's a bull market in the
Yeah.
cryptos, there are like more attention. Also, players, they try to learn more on the wallets and transactions and everything else. So they have the tendency to go with the payments in crypto. So that's another thing. So we have the elections. Trump is coming up, so he is big in crypto and everything. So I'm looking forward to it. What's going to happen in 2025
I
and
think it will
how the
eventually.
yeah,
I think ultimately we will create more transparent processes, right? So it will help operators track and be more trustworthy in time.
absolutely. So crypto is one of those innovations. I know at Osgate, you guys are also big in innovation. You had that 360 neurotechnology experience, right, at your booth at SBC Lisbon. It was I heard it was really an immersive experience. I didn't have a chance because your booth was super busy. I couldn't just enter, and you had like an army of people around, so I couldn't have a try. But can you tell me about that experience? How people welcome it?
Yeah, we actually had a lot of brainstorming before the expo, doing it ourselves, trying it out to see how it's gonna work, how it's gonna be. So basically, the experience was designed to spark participants, basically to think about the intersection of neuroscience and gaming technology, right, in a very futuristic way. The people who visited, they thought their thoughts and feelings actually define what was shown on the videos. So basically, it allowed them to explore how brain-computer interface can enhance our user interaction and engagement. The response was really was incredible, right? As you said as well, the booth was always packed, full throughout the whole conference. We actually had amazing conversations, both about the 360 neuro experience, but also while people were waiting at the queue to enter, we actually even had sales talks with people who didn't even know who Oddsgate is. They were just finding out then. So we actually started a few partnerships from that booth.
That's amazing. So it's like, the room, the visuals, everything changes depending on your emotions at the moment. So that's like really impactful.
I
I
actually
will.
tried it. I tried it. I had the plan to try it the first thing I get to the stand, so like 9 a.m. or something in the morning, and then to do it at the closing of the show after you had numerous meetings, numerous talks, and to see how the system
Oh,
reacts.
got you. So like you try it when you're fresh and after all these eight,
Yes,
9 hours of. Okay, got you. That's a good tip. I'm gonna test it myself. I hope you guys will bring it at your next booth. So
we'll
I
see.
will
We'll
make
see.
sure doing that.
We'll see.
Gabi, talking about events, I know that you're heading to ICE Barcelona, and you'll have also your Allskate team with you. What do you think about the first ICE event in Barcelona city? Are you happy that it is moved from London?
Well, me personally, I did enjoy London. I think it's an amazing city, busy with life, with business, and I'm a rainy guy. I like rain from time to time. I think it will be strange at first. I think everyone will probably miss the kilometers long of London cabs, right? If you're not lucky enough to have a hotel close by, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think, but on a business professional side, I don't think anything will change, right? So ICE is and will obviously remain a key landmark in the gaming industry, right? It's one of the most important events that we have. So regardless of the location it will always be great. But I do believe one thing. I do believe more people will actually attend at least this ICE in Barcelona because I believe we all know people that probably had been struggling to attend ICE since the Brexit.
That's correct. Yeah, there were a lot of issues, especially last year. We heard some cases.
Yeah.
Another trigger for me on the plus side for Barcelona is I live in Gdansk, Poland, and when I look out of the window, I see the snow. So I would love any opportunity that will fly me to a sunny weather.
One place.
So yeah,
Yes.
definitely Barcelona will be a fun time for every one of us, and it's going to be a really good event. A lot of networking will be happening, I believe. I know also you will have all these, meetings. I know your schedule is super packed, but I was wondering if any of our viewers would like to meet you, how they can reach you. You're quite active on LinkedIn. I guess LinkedIn is a good channel, right?
Yeah, we would be present there, obviously. So myself and the team together. So we are good to meet, clients, partners, or anyone who's interested, basically, to find out more about us. I mean, as you said, they can reach us on LinkedIn, myself, or any of my colleagues via email, or even on the oddsgate.com website. We can book a meeting, chat, and we can have a coffee.
Fantastic. So definitely I'll have a coffee with you, Gabi. So that's going to be covered.
Yes.
And everyone else, please go ahead and drop a message to Gabi and meet him and his team over there. Uh, these guys know a lot about the markets, and maybe it would be a good conversation before you start the year. And he's all welcoming as usual. Gabi, thank you. Today we have explored everything from your incredible journey in iGaming. We talked about key market trends, opportunities, a little bit more touch on the Brazilian market, which was great in my opinion with all these regulations and other changes. We talk about the technology, AI, and the other important aspects changing the future of our industry. Um, Thanks for being a part of the first Revpanda live session of the year. I learned a lot from you today, so thank you. And I'm sure our viewers will consider your insights as they plan 2025. Um, do you have anything else to add today, or bring to the attention of our viewers before we wrap up the session?
Yeah, I think it's a general one. So, if you allow me, if I could give an advice to anyone looking to enter this industry or it's at the beginning of the roads in their career, I would advise them to get a mentor. Like, find someone from who you can learn, someone who will be patient with you, who will teach you, and who will walk you through this journey. That's what I did. I believe it helped me tremendously. It guided me through my path. It made me actually find my thing, so the thing that I love and like doing. And I would suggest you should do the same if you're interested and willing to learn.
Absolutely. So just find someone that will teach you and inspire you, and then later on just follow the steps that which are proven. So that's a great suggestion, Gabi. And of course, I would like to thank all of our viewers today for their incredible support. This Repanda live session is brought to you by Pinup Partners, and make sure that you go ahead and see them also in Barcelona. Next week, I'm going to host one of the most inspiring leaders in iGaming, Valentina Bagnia, Chief Marketing Officer at SoftSwiss. So make sure that you go to the event, click attend, and join us live. Till we meet next week, be good to yourself and stay in the game. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Faruk. Have a nice day.
Cheers.